Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's time for another update on the E36 M3 Touring Project. It's going to be a bit of a different one today. For once, I have what is actually an entire E36 in front of me, rather than one that's in many pieces and very bent and rusty. This one is just sort of rusty. Would you agree, Joey?
Definitely.
So, if you've bought BMW parts from a guy called Joey, this is him.
It's me.
And this is his E36 328, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 328.
328 coupe that he's here swapping a diff over. And Joey is a bit of kind of the E36 guru, as I'm sure how he'd like me to describe him. Because you've owned them for quite a long time, haven't you?
14 years now.
Yeah, so you've owned E36s for 4 or 5 years longer than I've been able to drive.
Yeah, well I had my license in 2006 and I bought my convertible in 2008. So, oh no, 13 years, sorry, 13 years. But yeah, it's been a long 13 years.
But yeah, I mean, this one is just covered in lots of different rare pieces. It's full AC Schnitzer, isn't it, kit?
Yeah, AC Schnitzer kit. Evo axle, 6-speed gearbox. Evo's all like manifolds, Miltec silencer, pretty much as I can get really. Anything fancy, I'm over it.
Yeah. You got some E88 wheels.
Very dirty.
On there, which I'm going to linger on for a while because Imran absolutely hates these wheels.
Oh wow.
And I find it hilarious. He's much more a fan of the LM, which you can also see in the background on the E39. But anyway, what am I up to today? I'm actually trying to get these arms and everything ready for going to powder coating, blasting, all that kind of stuff. As you can see, they are lovely, although pretty much everything that looks bad is getting changed. And the actual arms themselves all look okay. So what I'm going to do, seemed like it worked last time okay, is stick a GoPro on my head and kind of get on with it. First things first, I've got to get these ABS sensors out, and I already know they're not going to be very fun. Right, so how do I get these backing plates off then if they've cut them?
You should be able to undo all the handbrake shoes. So, you're laughing. You just want to undo that one there, twist and down, they pop out.
Okay.
And then undo the springs, you should be able to pull them apart, and there'll be bolts behind it that hold the backing plate on.
Because that's going to make things a lot easier.
Yeah, you're laughing.
I wonder what size that is. Not that. Oh, there we go. All this shoe stuff seems pretty good, but I suppose it's probably worth...
Yeah, fitting kits aren't expensive.
Yeah.
So it's well worth
like
just
they all seem fine. There we go. I literally can't help it. Annoying. See if these are easy or annoying. I think they're annoying. Oh, the 13's okay. Ooh. Ain't 13s. Are they 14? No, what are they 14? You're failing me, Joey. After I talked you up. Told everyone you know your shit.
I just sell the parts now, don't I?
See, that's the thing.
I'm not the man, the parts man.
Probably get a 40 on there now. Ooh, do I get to use my new thing? Because I'm not a professional mechanic.
Yeah.
I like doing, I'll end up like taking stuff off with just the socket. So then you get that.
Check you out.
Oh, that's lovely, that is. Yeah, so Joey was telling me that they cut that in half because normally you'd have to take the hub out to fit them, but it doesn't seem like a bad solution to me. But I'm not replacing those, only very obviously these. That was actually, this one is fully fallen apart. And Joey has supplied me all of that when I send him emails late at night. Many emails, many spreadsheets that he then has to manually enter into his own system. But to his credit, it makes a world of difference having a parts guy who's interested in cars, because he knows what you're on about and he tells you when you're ordering the wrong bit. I really feel like I'm about to cut my hand up. Please say that, Sanson. Yes. Okay. Alright, now that those heat shields are out of the way, I'm not worried about bending them. I can try and get these off. I already tried this one, it instantly rounded. Whoa! No way. That one's just fine. Okay, that's lucky. I mean, I've still got to get the sensor out of the hub. So what actually holds the sensor in? Is it just that bolt?
Yeah, just the bolt and sheer rust and grease now.
Yeah. There you go.
Like a glove.
Thank you, Joey.
It's like 5:30 now.
I don't know what time it is. Yes!
Got it?
Yes! See, that's that years of E36 experience coming through. No. Okay, I think I've messed that one up there. Oh, this bit's rounded. Oh. Yes. Yes. Just putting the bolts back in for when it goes to blasting and powder coating. Okay, actually wasn't as much work as I was worried about. Everything seemed to came out okay. Had Joey with his magic touch as well, smashing some bits out for me. It's a lot of surface rust, but that's not too much of a problem. It's all okay. And then these I need a big 46mm socket for to undo those, but luckily you do just undo that nut and then it comes out rather than having to be pressed out, and get all these off, which I do have new ones of. Okay, so yesterday I managed to get everything stripped down ready for the bearings to be pressed out, and now it's the morning, so some of you might notice where I am. This is where the YouTube channel was born. This is our old unit, which now belongs to Phil at Dream Automotive. He took over from us, and now you're about to birth your own YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's starting out now. Just started filming this week, so getting used to the whole camera sort of pieces. Yeah, we've got some exciting content coming. You know, there's a lot of stuff that we do with the Civic, so looking forward to showing everybody.
Yeah, so basically Dream's kind of like the Honda version of Evolve, so
Yeah.
if you're interested in the Honda side of it, then go and check those guys out. But basically what we've got today is these arms, rear arms, front arms, got to press the ball joints out of, and Phil's going to show me how to use a press and then maybe press them out for me if I can't do it.
We'll give it a go.
But yeah, let's get used to it.
Oh no.
Fun.
It's got it, it's got it. Oh, good, good, it's got it. But
Yeah.
the other way to do bushes is to do them with fires.
Yeah, but that's the way I've done it.
That's the last resort.
I've done it kind of at home.
Yeah.
And now I was like, oh, I've got access to now 2 workshops.
Yeah.
There must be a better way, because I mean, there's not always a better way.
Not always.
Okay, so that's the front of the hub where your wheel bolts go into. That's come out now. And also your drive shaft goes in the centre. There, you can see the splines. And then you've got kind of what is essentially, I guess, the main wheel bearing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, so it left the race behind on there.
Yeah.
And then
This is the actual bearing itself. Held in by a circlip. It's really stuck in that corner, isn't it?
we can let this. Oh,
There we go. Oh, no. That just went. Walks out after that, doesn't it? Walks out after that, doesn't it? There we go. Okay, so what we've done there is just cut the ends of the ball joints off so that they're easier to press, because obviously that's not going to fit in a press, is it really? Okay, so final bush on the rear trailing arm. Can't get into the press, so Phil reckons maybe on the vise.
Maybe.
Go.
There we go.
If not, then my solution is going to be the old school method, isn't it? Of
Fire.
burning them out. Okay, that's almost there, shortly. Yep. Are these actually the same size? They are. Supposedly my car should have sphericals on both sides.
Right.
But whether someone's fitted the wrong arms or... So it's got this on one side, and then I was worried that it was a different... I couldn't then put it back to sphericals both sides, if that makes sense. All these little things that absolutely don't matter, but then you take the car apart, you're like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Worked completely fine, never realised it. Definitely won't have the driving ability to notice. So I'm like, oh my god. I've only got one spherical bushing on the back. Car's ruined.
Yep.
Gone?
That's going. Yeah, it's going.
And done. Success. Okay, so that is the majority of what I was hoping to get done. Rear trailing arms are all split, and the front control arms are all split. Everything came out pretty easily, I think you would say, Phil?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah? Not too bad?
No, what was it, a couple of hours?
Yeah.
Not easy enough.
And then on these rear ones, Phil said that the best way is going to be the old school, drill them and set fire to them and cut them out,
Yeah.
basically.
So the thickness of that metal there, it's not worth risking putting in the vise, really.
Yeah, I don't want to chew up the arm itself. Okay, after admittedly not a very good effort at pushing these out. I'm going to go back to the old Burnham, and for that I'm going outside because this doesn't seem like the best place to start a fire. Oh, something's happening now. Okay, that first one seems to have burnt pretty well. Let's get this one going as well. They seem to get to a point where I guess they're on fire inside and then it expands out. Oh, I think we're getting there maybe already. There we go. I think the one on the left's pretty much done. One on the right's going lovely now. I mean, there's a reason this seems like the most common option. Okay, well they're still warm, which I assume they are. Look at that, like butter. It's actually worked a lot better than I thought it was going to. Yeah, just for that. And then in theory, I can just get a hacksaw, cut that ring and then hook it out. Okay, I've let them cool down a bit and I sprayed them with a bit of water just to be safe. Now I've got to try and hacksaw the remaining outer ring so then I can just peel it out rather than it being pressed out. Oh. Well, that's the result. That just wants to come out. Let's just see if this is even going to come out. It might get caught still. I think I had that socket lined up nicely. Oh, there we go. Result. Wonder if the other one's going to be the same. I bet it's not. I'm now being stubborn and not going over to the vise because I don't think I need to. Gone over to the vise area, proceeded not to use the vise itself. I knew it wasn't going to be as easy as the other one. Can't tell if that's moving or not. There we go. Yes! I'm now thinking that that's damaged after I've done all that. I'm just not happy about this line. Yeah, I'm not confident these are right now that I'm looking at them. That's frustrating. I don't know, I don't even know if you can see this to be honest, but I don't know actually. Because in theory they're both sat roughly level. I can't imagine they both bent the same amount. I mean, I know this doesn't look super great. Maybe. I need to look at some fresh ones, I think. Okay, I've just had a look at some pictures of brand new ones. And they do have a very similar kind of bend there. So I think that's just normal part of the manufacturing. I was just worried that obviously coming from a car I did crash, I just wanted to make sure I hadn't bent them somehow, but these are obviously angled to sit in the subframe correctly and then sit up against the trailing arm, so I think they're okay. Okay, there's just one last thing I think I need to do on these arms before they can go off to blasting, and it's to get these handbrake cables out, which I decided would be a lot easier once the hub was off. See if I was right. So that just comes out. And then Joey was saying it's just a case of hammering that out, I think he said. Okay, I didn't film any of that because it's been horrible basically. It even sounds like the seagulls have been laughing at me. But that's the end of a handbrake cable out on this side. I did go and find the new one. So that's what it kind of used to look like. It's basically seized in the hub. Back here. Been trying to clean it out, but I don't know if it really made any difference. I've done so much stuff to that one. But in the interest of actually making these videos, I guess I should probably film some of my efforts. That's pretty much out. But anyway, that hub is now, I believe, trailing arm, hub, whatever, believe fully done. These are all done. Just gotta get this one out and then we can go from there. So I did get it really hot. I don't know if that made any difference. Just trying to keep it central. What I did do on the other one was drill it a bit to kind of give it a bit of a lip to sit in, maybe. See, I want it to really go further in, because the problem I'm having is, whilst that fits through, I think I'm hitting the edge. It's one of those cases where I did so much on this one, I don't really know what actually worked, or if it was just a combination of things just slowly. Because I mean, obviously all that's not going to be helping because of how stiff that is. Obviously this is plastic, but there we go, that's done. Yeah, just try seeing if heating that up has expanded the surround at all. Ooh. I don't know if that's feeling any better, but it certainly feels a bit better. I don't know though. I think that's got it. That's got it. I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so that's pretty much all of the rear suspension now stripped down. It took longer than I wanted it to, but I think that's kind of going to be pretty much the running theme of the entire project probably, so probably something I need to get used to. I was hoping to show a bit more of the touring and kind of take a look underneath and get cleaning it. I think I'm probably going to save that for the next video now, especially as I put a post up on our community page asking kind of what people were wanting from this project, and a lot of people wanted to know kind of where this was going and what the end plan was, which I thought I kind of covered in the first video, but I'll kind of reiterate it a little bit. So it is going to be obviously a full E36 M3 Touring. It's going to get the whole M3 body kit, front bumper, wing mirrors, side skirts, rear bumper. That's pretty much it actually. So quite a simple kind of looking car, or side trims, kind of things like that. Little bits and pieces, but the M3 didn't change that much from the regular car in the E36, which makes this quite simple to do. Conversion wise, it does all pretty much just drop in. There's little bits and pieces, little bits of kind of reinforcement plates have to be welded in, but nothing too major. It's a very simple swap. It is pretty much, well, it is definitely the easiest touring conversion of any of the M3s you could do. So the car's going to get the whole running gear, engine, suspension, drivetrain, all that kind of stuff switched over. And then it will go for bodywork after that. Once the car is all running, driving, I'm completely happy with it. Because I don't want to put any like fresh paint and then continue working on the car if I can avoid it, because it's just going to, it's too big a risk to get damaged kind of thing. So the car will then be fully resprayed in British Racing Green. It is going to stay British Racing Green. Had a few people ask, had a few people say, you know, I'll keep it techno, like repaint it techno violet kind of thing. But I did want to try and get a techno violet shell, like a touring to start with, because I love that color. But the problem is it's a great color, and any techno violet tourings were snapped up like 4 or 5 years ago. They've been lowered, arches rolled, all the kind of stuff that you want to make a car look nice, and or to go that kind of sceney kind of look. But that means that they've got a lot of rust issues. They've been dragged along the ground. You know, the arches are completely gone. It just wasn't something I really wanted to take on, and I didn't really want to take on someone else's previously modified project where I've got this, and this is, as far as I can tell, it hasn't been touched anywhere. It's a completely clean base. So that's kind of where the project's going. It's not going to be a track car, because I'm not stupid enough to make the same mistake twice, I don't think. It's just going to be a road car, which is why it's going kind of standard bushes, all that kind of stuff. It's just a nice road car thing for me to own, build, look after, do road trips, all that kind of stuff. It's not anything crazy. It's anything particularly out of the ordinary. Timeline wise, I've had a few people ask about that. Timeline, there isn't really one, because I don't want to rush anything. I don't want to think, oh, I've got to do this. Oh, I wish I could have done that, but you know, I just needed to get it done kind of thing. I don't really want to rush it if I can try. I'd like to obviously have it running and driving by the summer, just so I can enjoy a bit of the summer. Hopefully, you know, COVID and everything, things will open up. Can go to like some cars and coffees, a few things like that, you know, see some friends. But if it's not, it's not. I'd rather know it was all 100% than rush something together just to be able to use it. Because realistically, everything that I've taken off, we could have swapped over in probably a weekend, and the car would be done. Kind of, it would run, it would drive, it would have an E36 M3 engine, and it would have an S50. But that's not what I wanted to do, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't live with it. I wanted to go through and make sure everything was nice, everything's been well maintained, refreshed, all that kind of stuff. It's spiraled out of control more than I thought it was going to, if I am honest, but that's just the way some of these things go. And it, like I said at the start, I think I've got one big project in me, and this is it. So I don't want to cut any corners, because I don't think I'm ever going to do a car to this level again. So yeah, I'm going to leave that here. In the next video, I will show you around the touring. There is some problems with it. Some little things that I've just got to actually fix. But it's an old car. It's not without its faults. I'll give you a good look underneath, kind of similar to what we did with the M3 shell, and clean it all up under there and get a really good look at what we're working with, what the base is, and why I did choose this car, other than obviously the British Racing Green, which you're sure you're probably all going to get bored of hearing how, oh, it's British Racing Green, blah, blah, blah. But other than the colour, it was just a really solid base. So that's probably going to be the next video, along with, I might just sprinkle in kind of getting all these, you can't see them, all the rest of the bits ready to go to powder coating, and hopefully they can actually go off for powder coating so they can come back and be ready to start reassembly. Probably going to go over all the bits I've been purchasing from Joey, who you saw at the start of the video, who works BMW Park Lane. He's been supplying all the parts for me. I've already got one big box and one big invoice, and there's going to be at least 1 or 2 more of those, I think. So I'll do something kind of going through that, looking at all the new parts we've got, and also just from what you've said, obviously drop the words in the comments, like get involved, kind of you can help shape what the videos are going to be like at least. People have said they'd rather it was just kind of more sprinkled together rather than set things. There will be episodes like that. Obviously I've got the wave track diff to fit. That will be kind of one contained video because I feel like that makes a bit more sense. Some things like that, but then I will just be sprinkling in what's going on as and when I can. And yeah, just thanks for all the support, all the people who've asked me about the car, asked me how the project's going, when's the next video coming out, that kind of thing. It was one of the reasons I did want to kind of cover this on the channel, because it helps keep me motivated and keep the project rolling, and knowing like not only do I want to get it done for myself, I want to put stuff out. Like it's what my entire life basically at this point revolves around, kind of getting stuff out, 2 videos a week, always trying to get something out, and something good as well. So I'm just trying to come over that mental barrier of not putting out anything that's a bit rubbish, basically. And I don't want to do that, but I think I'm probably holding myself a higher standard than needs be. I do apologize if the audio at the start of this video wasn't great. I was trying something different. Clearly didn't work. But that's that. I learned not to do that again, basically, and go back to kind of more traditional methods. I am now rambling. Thanks for watching. The next video will hopefully be sooner than this one was compared to the last one. Cheers.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please remember to smash that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. If you want to join the conversation, please drop a comment below and we'll try our best to respond to you. If you want to watch more of this project, you can do so over here. If you want to watch what YouTube thinks you might like from our other content, you can do so over here.